What do you get when you put together Joomla, community builder, a bit of a web guru, and an Indian electronica vibe? You get an international recording label. Kasim Verji is the engine room behind all that creative power and creating such a huge network of fans around the world, and with his recording label. Today we thought we'd kick it off by asking him some questions, but let's see how he reacted here.
I don't know. This is a difficult question. I think I might have to pass.
Oh, come on. And
I'm sweating.
I'll give
sweating.
I'll give you 3.
Burning red. I don't know what to do. Oh, almost won. I almost won an advanced copy of Joomla 1.5. Hi, this is Kasim Verji, and you are tuned into Joomla Juice, the podcast all about Joomla, coming straight from the source. This is a track that is about to be released this summer on Indian Electronica Records. You can find out more about it at indianelectronica.com. By an artist by the name of Amnesia, who is based here in Toronto, Canada. The song is called Grass Hopping. It's not that long, but it covers a lot of ground and sort of moves from the urban to the rural setting, the real high-tech vibe. I hope you enjoy it and enjoy listening to Peter and I talking about Joomla and the things that I'm up to.
Kasim Verji, welcome to Joomla Juice. Great to have you here.
Thank you. It's great to be here, Peter.
And you live in Canada and you live in Toronto. Is that correct?
That's right. Live up in beautiful Toronto, Canada. Yeah.
Can you say it how the locals say it?
Yeah, I guess we don't really pronounce the last T, so we say Toronto. Everyone here says
Toronto.
They live in Toronto.
Yeah, I've heard Alana Miles say it that way.
Uh-huh.
Actually, because you're from Canada and Toronto, we should have a Canadian quiz for you.
Oh, I think I might fail.
Oh, come on, let's see how you go. Which of these artists is Canadian? A. Bryan Adams, B. Shania Twain, or C. Nancy Wilson out of Heart?
Oh, I don't know the last one, but definitely the first two.
Well, all 3.
Oh, almost won. I almost won an advanced copy of Joomla 1.5.
And talking about competitions, we're actually in the show next week. We've got a special show on SEO and SEF for Joomla. We've got Steve Birch, who's written an ebook, and he's offering 2 ebooks as prizes, and Emir Sakic, who writes the component that's called SEF Advance, which lets you create human-friendly URLs. Those 2 prizes in combination, we've got 2 to give away. And I think they're worth about between $90 and $100 American for the 2. And I'm going to ask you the question. You can be
That's a pretty good price.
Yeah. So here's the question, and if you answer it correctly, I can't give it to you because you haven't entered yet. So we're going to do a prize draw next week. So the question is, what do you rename the htaccess.txt file to start the process to enable Joomla search engine friendly URLs? And
I don't know. This is a difficult question. I think I might have to pass.
Oh, come on. And I'm
sweating.
I'm
sweating.
I'll give you 3.
Turning red. I don't know what to do. I'll have to go with .htaccess.
Ah, yes. So you've got it right. So I mean, I know it's I've just given the answer, and you've certainly verified that, but you still have to fill in the form, and Steve will next week be randomly choosing 2 winners, so it could be you.
I'll try my luck.
You're a bit of an open source guru of recent times, and that came about in 2002. You started looking at it.
Yeah, about 2002, I guess I officially sort of had a few projects that were, I guess, vanity web projects that I really wanted to develop quickly, and I, of course, had no money because they're all hobby projects, so really started looking at open source software, particularly for, like, blogging and CMS application.
Okay. And this is something you do in your occupation?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a website producer, but I also do a lot of music projects. I have a record label, and the label has all these events and everything that we do around the world, music festivals and stuff, and all the coordination is online.
Okay. Well, here's a chance for you to give it a plug. So tell us what the website is.
Sure. Well, the website's just indianelectronica.com. It's all one word, and you'll be able to find the link on joomlajuice.com after this, or while you're listening to this.
Yeah.
But basically, Indian Electronica is a website that brings together all sorts of electronic music producers around the world that are interested in using South Asian traditional instruments and mashing that up with really cutting-edge beats, I guess, from around the world, different styles from trance to drum and bass and so on.
So is it?
Yeah,
I'm a bit older than you, but is it anything like that era where the Beatles started mixing Indian style music?
Yeah, I mean that was really the beginning of. Yeah, we're basically doing the same thing today.
Yeah.
Brought up to speed with technology. And it's funny you mentioned that because even, at the time they went there and they met with Ravi Shankar and did some recordings with him.
Yeah.
And now his daughter Anushka Shankar is recording with a lot of the artists that we feature on Indian Electronica Radio, on my online radio station, and at the festival annually. So it's funny. It comes full circle.
Incredible. So I didn't realize that she was following on in her dad's footsteps, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely. And she's fantastic. She's an amazing, amazing sitar player.
Really? Do you think you might be able to give us access to some music? You want to pick a couple of tracks for us so we can pop them into this show?
Definitely, yeah. I'll do that.
Great. So you're using an open source solution for that website. What have you chosen to do that?
Well, actually, it's running on Joomla.
Yeah.
And it's right now the latest stable, so it's 1.012 or whatever, with Community Builder and a whole slew of extensions, but definitely Joomla's at its core.
Okay, and the podcasting side of it, how have you put all that together?
Yeah, right now we're doing some podcasts. I want them to be more frequent, but basically the infrastructure that's supporting these sporadic DJ mixes and there's some interviews there as well, is used to do with Joomla back, I guess, maybe a year and a half ago, which is take another program and then, hack it together by adding in content items and putting in the tags that we need. So I think it's running Loudbot and Loudblog.
Okay.
Yeah, but now again, there's so many other solutions that work better with Joomla, so I might switch it up very soon. It's so true. It's funny, yeah. It really is, and it's I think without Joomla, the whole project wouldn't have come together. So it's an interesting case study.
Yeah, well, you might see on Joomla Juice we're using a bot to pull advanced multimedia files, which are M4Vs or M4A files, which iTunes likes because it gives you chapter marks and all sorts of advantages, so you can actually embed URLs into your podcast. And so Joomla works fine with that stuff too.
Yeah, I definitely need to check that out.
Yeah. The audience you're talking about, when you say international, it's not just restricted to India or Southeast Asia, it's global, is it?
Yeah, at the core, the project started out targeting or showcasing, in fact, the works of producers and DJs and musicians that were South Asian, but from diaspora communities living all over the globe, from the States to Canada to Germany to South Africa. So that's where the backbone was, but now it's grown to encompass all sorts of different people, different ethnic backgrounds and everything else, living all over the world.
Fantastic. So you've obviously met quite a few of these people?
Oh, definitely. And, last year I started my international music festival last year. So that happened in Toronto as well as London, England. And this year it's going to be in 4 cities. So it's great because there's now a face to that whole project. And we do meet a lot of these people and bring them together internationally, face to face.
So are you going to do another one in Europe?
Yeah, actually, this year it's going to be, we'll be in London in the third week, bank holiday weekend of August.
Great. Oh, we can catch up.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to meet
I'll
up.
bring my sitar. And you can laugh. I'm not,
deal.
I love music, but I'm not very musical. If that makes sense.
Does make sense. That's why Indian Electronica is there, to provide the music for you and I and everyone in between.
Now, with your day-to-day business, which is sort of your non-record label business, you're a production company. How do you find that working in a big city like Toronto and dealing with clients and dealing with the objections that come along when you're trying to suggest an open source solution?
Well, it's an interesting question you pose, Peter, because the funny thing is, yes, I do live in Toronto, but I've been doing, been working with, for example, Mambo, then Joomla, I guess now Joomla. Mambo, then Joomla, and Drupal and other open source software in New York before this, and funnily enough, before that in Nairobi, Kenya, in East Africa.
Yeah, so you're well-traveled.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, now that brings it full circle. Well, I'm living here in Toronto, but my clientele isn't necessarily based here. So through my travels, I guess, and the contacts that I made, I work with all sorts of people. And the funny thing is that I've seen in the last 3 years, the general awareness of open source is growing exponentially. So a lot of the people that come to me to do work together are actually aware of Joomla or Drupal or whatever solution and really actively want open source.
That's great. So you think we're over the crest?
I think so. Especially with small business and these sort of social grassroots groups like nonprofits, definitely I think so.
And where would you like to see things going in the future? Let's say we could give you an open whiteboard and you could say, this is what I want. Because I know you're into the W2 type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to see just a greater accessibility for open source software. I think right now this is the biggest problem, and you'll see this in the last, a few months. There's been a few big threads that have found their way to the top of Dig and so on. Just talking about basically how open source is so huge right now as far as the momentum from a production standpoint. There's so many coders out there and so many passionately advocating it, but their outreach isn't to a corporate audience or isn't to an audience that otherwise wouldn't know about open source. And so open source isn't being written up in the mainstream media as much as a lot of other technological things that are going on right now, like iTunes and the question about maybe, I don't know, syndication rights and so on with iTunes and those sorts of stories. So basically, I'd like to see open source move out of the back room and into the front room, whereby just laymen are able to use it and talk about it.
Sounds good. Oh, I think I was right when I said evangelist. Tim, thanks for a great show. It was certainly entertaining. Along the theme of music from other cultures, we'll finish the show with a track from Govinda, and it's called Electric Gypsy. And while you're at it, while you're listening to this, visit www.joomlajuice.com. Make sure you enter the competition for the SEO book by Steve Berg, and combined with that prize, SEF Advanced for Lily Sekek. We've got 2 bundles valued at almost $100 each. So get to it, answer the question correctly, and you could win a prize.
Ow, I just fell down the stairs.
Please hang up and try again.